Well, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to SusGlobal Energy's channel. Joining us, as always, the Chief Executive Officer, Marc Hazout. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Always a pleasure to have you on and chat, man. You guys are in one heck of an interesting industry. So first and foremost, we saw your interim financials come out, and I figure we'll start with some of the highlights here because as we discussed in the past, I mean, you guys purchased a 40K square foot facility. You won a bunch of innovation awards. Do you want to just kind of skim into some of these highlights for the retail audience here?
Of course. So, of course, this is all part of our regional model. And that means we have now two facilities in the eastern part of the province and one in the western part of the province. One has environmental compliance approval for 120,000 metric tons per annum. That's our Belleville facility in the eastern part of the province. And then at our Hamilton facility, we have an environmental compliance approval for 65,000 metric tons per annum. So collectively, we have 185,000 metric tons per annum of organic waste processing capacity. And right in the middle, you've got the GTHA, or what's known as the GTHA, the Greater Toronto Hamilton area. And that is the highest, in terms of population, the highest density in Canada, in the province of Ontario, with about 15 million residences. And we draw on that, on the organic waste stream for that population. And this is the regional model that we'll be able to export to other municipalities all over North America. So it's important to understand that the second facility was a milestone for us for several reasons. First of all, the first 2 years of operations, we started operations in Belleville in September of 2017. So for the first 2 years, it was very difficult because municipalities and haulers and governments will not allow you to bid or tender for contracts unless you have two years of operational experience. So, in 2019, we were able to do that. The second, the second issue is, of course, the redundancy. Meaning you have to have a second facility because a lot of municipalities are concerned that if anything were to happen at your first facility, you're not going to turn away municipal, haulers or trucks. So now we have the second facility. So we meet all the requirements, and that's part of where we're at. And that explains there was our quarter over quarter, our revenues did decrease because we had a contract with one of the municipalities, and we were processing 10,000 tons per annum for them. And they were looking for SusGlobal to process their entire program, which was about 30,000 tons. And because we didn't have the second facility at the time, as you know, Hamilton, we just acquired in August of this year, they weren't able to award that contract to us. So that explains the decrease. But for 2022, now with the second facility, there will be an increase in contracts with municipalities. And of course, the commercialization of our organic liquid fertilizer at the Hamilton facility, and that is the inflection point for the company where you're going to see an exponential revenue growth for 2022 and into 2023.
Yeah, that's incredible, man. I love working with you because I feel like I don't even have to ask you the questions. I mean, you broke down the highlights. We got into the revenue decrease there, and we're looking forward to that 2022 guidance and seeing kind of the turnaround of that story. Is there any specific timeline? I guess I'll just throw in a basic question here. As we head into 2022 here, when we start seeing this ramp back up, when do you really expect things to kick off for you here? Are we talking first quarter, second quarter? Just kind of highlight a little bit of a time frame if you can.
Sure. So right now our Hamilton facility, which and you're right, it's about over 40,000 square foot facility. We're adding another 11,000 square feet of R&D space and some corporate office. So it'll be a total of 50,000 square feet on 3.26 acres. It's under renovation as we speak. We actually received a building permit today. So we expect that processing could begin as early as the third quarter of 2022. That's realistically when we expect to, and of course it'll ramp up. But that's the whole idea, and we're working with our engineers and so forth, and the environmental compliance approvals being transferred to us as the new operators with the Ministry of Environment, etc. So that's, to answer your question, that's what we're looking at, third quarter, where we'll be able to capture those revenues. But what's important about the first quarter of 2022 is when we're actually receiving our first check for the carbon credits. And I think we discussed this in our last interview, and that's a significant milestone for us because that's a large amount in that first quarter that will make up for significant losses in or a decrease in revenue in 2021. And then, of course, you did mention one of the highlights was the fact that we won an innovation award, a product innovation award for our liquid fertilizer. And that, again, is it just validates the product and what we're doing, producing, an organic, liquid, pathogen-free fertilizer from processing these organic waste streams. And there's a significant demand, as you know, for that product and for fertilizers in general.
Yeah, this has been a very well-rounded conversation for SusGlobal today. I really appreciate your time, Marc.
Always a pleasure, Kyle.
And on that note, folks, if you ever have any questions, always let us know what you think in the comment section below. Sooner or later, we're going to do kind of a Q&A investor retail focused question kind of period. I think it'll be a lot of fun too, but stay cool, stay awesome, folks, and we'll catch you in the next one.